Dang, that thing almost choked me. Glass is falling off. Put my little banner up. Is this the right one? Yeah. I know it's going to take forever for. I know it's going to take forever for you. Hey, Summer. How you doing? We here. We are here, girl. Um, I got like three things that I want to talk about. Hey, Mouse Mama. I got like three things I want to talk about today. Let me see. We can start with the whole Chris Rock thing. Y'all still mad? Y'all mad at Chris Rock? Y'all mad at somebody for his feelings after he was physically assaulted by someone on national TV? Y'all mad because this man has an opinion, or this man is still upset because he was physically assaulted by someone on national TV? And Netflix gave him a platform to go out there and say whatever you want to say. Netflix paid this man to speak his truth. And y'all mad? Y'all mad though? Because if see, and what I'm thinking is this whole situation would have been totally different had Will Smith slapped y'all. You may not have even had the restraint that Chris Rock had and been able to take that one to the chin and finish out your day. You may have started fighting. Because I was telling my husband, I'm not a violent person. I'm not violent. But if you hit me, I have a knee jerk reaction to try to hit you back. I just feel that in my spirit. Now, I haven't been hit as an adult. I haven't been hit. So, but my spirit is telling me that if someone hits me, I'm going to have a knee jerk reaction to hit them back. I'm not just going to be able to just stand there and take it on the chin and be like, I don't know. You got to take everything, this whole situation into perspective. These people were at the biggest award show there is on live national television when this incident happened. You're thinking, okay, this man did already messed his career up because he's the aggressor. I don't want to mess my stuff up. And then you just stand down. Or he could have been like, you know what, at this point, I don't care. We just gonna fight. And he took the road of, I'm not about to mess up my career because this person had messed up his career. And in that sense, it made Will Smith look bad because you hit somebody and they didn't even attempt to hit you back. So now, a year later, because we're coming up to the anniversary of this slap, it's been a year. It's been almost a year. Chris Rock has taken to Netflix to do a stand up to talk about how he feel or all of that. Now, I haven't seen the entire stand up. I've just seen like the clips where because my husband saw the whole thing and he was like, because I'm not really a Chris Rock fan. And it don't have nothing to do with this situation. I just never really thought he was that funny. I think he's funny, but he's not that funny. He's not funny enough for me to really watch one of his stand-ups or whatever. So my husband watched it because my husband, he's just that type of person. He can watch it regardless. And he said, the part where he really talked about Will Smith was at the end. So he played that part for me. I didn't have a problem with what he said because these are obviously his feelings. And we can't get to a point where we don't allow people to express how they feel. Like, this man was hurt. It may have just been, one open hand slap, where the actual slap may not have been physically painful. Like the sting from the slap may have, went away. But the mental part, and that's the part that we throwing that part out the window. The mental part for a man. A man let another man slap him and didn't do anything. Chris Rock's ego had to be going 95 miles a minute. Like, you ain't gonna do nothing? We ain't gonna do nothing? His ego was probably like, or he could have had a little docile ego that was like, okay, if we go any farther, we're gonna get beat up. So we might want to sit this one out. We don't know which side his ego was playing. Because my ego already would have been crazy. Would have been like, oh, I know we're not about to let her slap. No, I know we not. Pick up that chair. That's my ego. My ego was like, burn this whole room down to the ground. My ego is crazy. Take your earrings off. Burn this whole building down to the ground. I don't care who else get hurt. Get your family out. And my family know if something like that happened, we about to go. Anyway, they would have already been on the ready. We about to tear this whole building up. This whole room is just about to go up in flames. That would have been my ego. I have one of those really crazy egos that once it get revved up, it's hard for me to rationalize and be like, we ain't trying to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail today. So all of this had to have been going on in his mind at the time. So all of those things that he was thinking and that his mind was trying to process on that night, he has finally had a chance to get up on stage and say what he had to say. And I heard he has been saying things at his stand-ups, because I watched this other reviewer and he went to one of Chris Rock's shows, not this Netflix taping, but one of his other shows. And he said, yeah, there were some of the same jokes that he did on Netflix. Like, he added some jokes, of course. I'm going to read y'all comments in a minute. He added some jokes, of course, for Netflix. But some of the jokes, they said, he has already used those in his stand-up. So he has been talking about this situation. You just won't hear it unless you go to the show. And I don't blame him. I'm not going to talk for free. Pay me for my words. So I don't understand why people are mad at him. I really don't. And let me say this. Jada and Chris Rock They know each other. They are friends outside of the award shows and all this. These people been knowing each other for years. So I'm pretty sure Chris Rock know a little bit more about Will and Jada than we do. Like he know the real Will and Jada. So some people were upset that um Chris Rock called Jada the B word. And you know, when you mad, things like that happen. I don't have a problem with him saying what he said. I don't. Your husband, your husband slapped me on national TV in front of the world at the biggest award show that there is. Bitch. It happened. Moth Mama said, I will whoop somebody's ass if they hit me. Girl, we're fighting. Hey, RJ. I think his feelings were really hurt more than anything else. He respected Will. That's how I felt from day one. From day one, like he was not expecting Will to come up there and slap him. Like he may have expected Will to come up there and be like, all right, bruh, that's enough. Or something like that, but to slap his face? I know he was hurt. Because he even said in his stand-up, Will would not have slapped 50 Cent or The Rock or any other comedian or any other anybody. But he slapped me. And to me, that says for a man to just walk up on stage, slap another man, and turn his back on him like, I know you're not going to hit me back. That says, I don't respect you at all. I know you a punk. I know you are. Because when I slapped you, I turned my back on you and walked away. He would not have done that with anybody else. Like he wouldn't have did that with a stranger. Will Smith wouldn't have slapped me and turned his back on me. Because he's like, I don't know this crazy woman. And if I turn my back on her, she may jump on my, and that's exactly what I would have did. I would have put all of this 200 plus pounds on his back. He would have been carrying this 200. Oh, honey, he would have drugged me all over that stage. Because I would have latched on to him with the fury of every lion, tiger, and bear in Africa. Do you hear me? The strength of my ancestors' claws would have been in him. He would have been dragging me. They would still, a year later, be trying to get me off his back. Will Smith is being operated on at this moment to try to cut this woman off of him because she is attached to him. You only turn your back on your opponent when you know that they're not going to do anything. He slapped this man and then turned around and walked off the stage like, I know he not going to do nothing back. And he didn't. Let me tell you what happened to me. When I was about 19 or 20, I was dating this guy. And we were shopping. We were like in the store shopping, you know, looking. We didn't really have no money because both of us had these little. We both worked at the same place and we had this little cheap job. We didn't have no real money, and we were just, you know, walking around shopping. And he was like, "Oh shit," and I was like, "What?" That's my ex-girlfriend, and she may come over here trying to start some mess. And at that time, I was a little quiet church girl. And I was like, where? Because I'm trying to size her up. Like, what she look like? Because I was always a little thick. But, thick back then was like 150, 147 pounds thick. Not 200. I looked at this girl. He pointed her out. And sister girl had to be 6 feet. This how she looked to me. She had to be 6 feet by 300 pounds. This how she looked to me in my eyes. I was like, that's your ex-girlfriend? Like that big linebacker looking girl? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, and just as my brain was processing the fact that this big girl was his ex-girlfriend, she saw us. She saw us. And she made a beeline for us. She walked over there. I mean, you know that Oprah Winfrey walk when Oprah was like, you told Harpo to beat me. She came like that. And when she came over there, she like called his name. And just as he was turning around to look at her, she slapped fire from him. I mean, she slapped the shit out of him. Do you hear me? And I started running. I got out of there because she wasn't going to slap me. Me! She wasn't going to slap. She done already slapped him. She wasn't going to slap me. I ran. And I'm looking, trying to, see was it gonna be a scuffle or whatever. But after she slapped him, she kind of, blended in with the rest of the crowd with her big butt. So I came back over there where he was, and I was like, "You okay? You okay?" And he was like, "So you just left?" Yes. She had already slapped you. She wasn't gonna slap me too. I can't fight. I'm a church girl. I can't fight. I ain't never been in no fight. I'm not, you got the wrong girlfriend if you thought I was gonna fight. So, we leave. But here go Lashana. Not too long after that incident, me and him got into it. And I was like, I slapped the shit out you like that girl did. Like that girl did in the store. Don't make me slap you. Cause you didn't hit her back. So I know you ain't gonna hit me back. After that, I had absolutely no respect for him. Every time he, did something, I was like, I'll slap you. Or I should slap you. Or I slap you like that girl did. So we eventually broke up. Because I was going to keep saying that, and eventually he was going to be like, well, slap me then. I mean, he never did it, but I think eventually he probably was going to. But I broke up with him because you can't fight. You can't even fight. Like, you let a girl hit you. A woman. I mean, she was twice your size, but... So, that was that. RJ said, take the earrings off? Girl, yeah, I would definitely... You can't fight in no earrings now. You gotta take the earrings off. RJ said, unfortunately, Chris reacting that way was the best thing. And it was. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It was the best. It was the best way. Because if he had hit back, that would have been... It just would have been bad. Because, they do already look at us as animals. And if you got two black men on stage fighting, that would have been horrible for the black community. I mean, it was horrible that Will did that. But if Chris had hit him back and they had actually fought, I think he would have been worse. Chris hopefully is getting therapy. God bless him. Will Smith is still a great person. This horrible action should not define the last 40 years and counting of his exquisite character. I am not saying that Will is a bad person, but Will needs to be getting some therapy too. And I don't think that this should mess up his, you know, what he's done in the past. And it looks like the movie Emancipation did pretty well. I think he won some award or something for the movie Emancipation. And I think he was really worried that the movie wouldn't do well because of what happened. And Chris Rock was like, I watched Emancipation just to see Will get beat. And people mad because he said, like, this is a comedian. Why are y'all taking this stuff serious? This man is a comedian. It ain't no telling what he will say. He will say anything. If he says something at the show, you have to take that for comedy and move on. But people like saw the Netflix show, and I guess we're on Twitter because my husband said he was trending. I don't even have Twitter like that. I think Jada instigated the situation. I don't think Jada had anything to do with that because Jada was looking surprised like everybody else. You can't blame Jada for what a man decided to do. Will Smith is a grown man. You can't blame Jada for that. And even if she did instigate it, Will didn't have to follow through. Even if Jada was upset, Will didn't have to follow through with his action. That's on him. Stop blaming women for stupid stuff that men do. Will made a decision. Will could. Do you know how many steps he took to get to Chris Rock? Every step he took, he could have turned around and went back in the opposite direction. When he got up out that chair, he could have sat his ass back down. He could have been like, you know what, this is stupid. Let me sit down. When he took that first step on stage, he could have said, you know what, this is dumb. Let me go sit my butt down in this chair. When he got all the way on the stage, he could have realized then, this is really stupid. Let me just pat this dude on the shoulder and whisper in his ear and go sit down. But no, he decided to slap this man. That had absolutely nothing to do with Jada. What was Jada supposed to do? Jump on the stage and pull him back? Had me and my husband been at an award show, for one, I would be shocked that my husband would get up and go on stage. For one, I would be shocked. And then for him to hit somebody, I would thoroughly be shocked. And I really believe that in that moment, Jada was probably like, I don't believe he did this. I don't believe he did this. Unless Jada knows, and that's her husband. So she knows this man. She knows what Will is capable of doing. So she could have just been like, well, damn. But I don't blame her. I'm not going to blame her because a man, he decided to do that. And he had ample time to change his mind. And he didn't. It was too much time for him to change his mind. And he followed through. And Jada was sitting there shocked just like everybody else. It's not like Jada was sitting next to him They weren't even sitting next to each other. And it's not like Jada was sitting next to him going, go up there and slap the shit out of him. Now that would be different. If I saw that on the camera and I saw after he said what he said and Jada was like, go up there and slap him. I would have been like, yeah, now that was her fault. I think Jada was just as shocked as we were. I really do. Yeah, but just because he was laughing and Jada didn't think that the situation was funny does not. So, what did she, through telepathy, tell her husband, go up there and slap him? She didn't think the joke was funny. So, she didn't laugh. And maybe she already had some underlying. Maybe it was something already in the milk that wasn't clean between Jada and Chris. We don't know. But we know these people know each other. And then when he said that, she was just like, I knew his ass was going to say something stupid. And, she had that look on her face. Because, some of us can't hide like me. When I'm upset, my face will show it. I'm not the type of person that can hide or my face. I'm still smiling. When no, if I'm mad, you gonna know I'm mad. You would definitely, if you've said something to offend me or you've made me mad, you're definitely going to know that I'm mad because it's really hard for me to hide. And it seems like Jada is like that also. She ain't no hide behind a mask type person. She didn't like it and it showed on her face. But that still did not give Will the right to walk up there and slap this man. The joke was tasteless, but it was a joke. A lot of jokes are tasteless. Just like Chris Rock saying, I only watched the show, I only watched Emancipation to see Will Smith get beat by Massa. It's a joke. It's a joke. Are we becoming a society that is so serious that eventually there will be no stand-up comedians because they won't be able to say anything because all jokes are going to be considered hurtful? Like there will be no such thing as humor. Humor will be gone. We'll have to go back to there won't be any stand-up comedians. Everything will be silent. Then you have to have the jugglers come out and the clowns. But the clowns can't be in whiteface because that's offensive to Caucasian. You, you know, we about to be a society of people that won't have anything fun because everything is considered offensive. All comedy is considered offensive. So, speaking of this, Chris Rock situation, this weekend I had an opportunity to watch the movie, the Elvis Presley movie. This one that just came out like last year, I guess. And, there's been a lot of talk about Elvis Presley, about his life, about him, you know, people kind of comparing him to R. Kelly because Elvis supposedly liked young girls also. But the one part of the Elvis Presley story that they really showed in this movie. And I've seen like another movie about him and they didn't show this. This was about how he stole from the black community, how he stole his moves, how he stole a lot of the music, the style, everything came from the African American community. Because his family was so poor, he grew up in a neighborhood that was full of black people. It kind of looked like his family was like the only, white family in that area. So Elvis ended up going to like church and the juke joints, and he caught the Holy Ghost for the first time at a revival. And this is, they showed this is when this whole, his whole spirit changed. When he really got that, his singing and, you know, dancing, all of that came from watching people catch the Holy Ghost and people singing in the black church. So his entire style, everything was from black people going around. And he did attribute a lot of it to the African American culture. Like he did love the black culture. He loved black food. He had a black lady that was his cook for a long time. A long time, and he really treated her right. Like he bought her a house, he bought her a car, but he should have, because she was basically on call day and night. Because if he wanted, a certain thing to eat, he would want her to cook it. So she would have to be at Graceland until he went to sleep at night. So he should have bought her a car. But it was, like the whole this movie was like so interesting to show how deeply enthralled he was in the African American culture, and how he was able to basically steal songs that he had heard other black, like he would go to like the juke joints or the black clubs or whatever, listen to what they were singing, and then he would take that damn near word for word, because you ain't nothing but a hound dog. This black lady was singing that just kind of like in a different tone. He took it, changed the tone, and made it his song. Took songs from black people, recorded them, and made millions of dollars off of it. And so his producer or agent or whatever was stealing money from him. Like they made sure that they put that in the movie. And I ain't feel sorry for him at all, because you're stealing from black people and someone else is stealing from you. And that's how it should have been. You're taking from black people, you're taking and getting something because you're white. You're able to take those songs, rearrange them, and make millions of dollars. Like he was making more money than, Lil Richard, Fats Domino, BB King. BB King made some good money though. But Elvis still made more money than any of them did, and he was stealing from them. Just flat out stealing. There's no other, you can't say, oh well, he just thought that the music was great and he, was no, he was flat out stealing the music. Stealing their songs and making millions of dollars from it. Cultural appropriation before there was even a name for it. Watch the movie. It's on. It must be on HBO because my Netflix is tripping. It must be on HBO. Watch the movie. It's there's parts of it that's kind of slow, but it's actually, if you really, as a black person, if you really watch it, it's a good movie because it goes into them, wanting to put Elvis in jail because those moves that he was doing. They were saying that the white people were saying that that was too black. You must be getting this style from the Negroes. It's too much. It must be some voodoo or something. Honey, the Christians had said that Elvis was out here doing voodoo because he had the white women throwing their panties on stage and everything. So it had to be some voodoo attached to that mess. He had the white women throwing their panties. They wasn't throwing panties in the 50s. He had the white women out here fainting and everything, child. They was like, oh no, he doing some of that black people voodoo. Honey, they was trying to put Mr. Elvis in jail. They was like, either you gonna go to jail or you gonna go in the military. And he was like, I'll take the military for 500. So he had to end up going in the military. Yeah, the Chuck Berry is the real king of rock and roll because a lot of that stuff, Chuck Berry and Elvis were friends. A lot of the stuff that Elvis was doing, he got from Chuck Berry. They were friends. He stole from him and then used it on stage and got rich. He stole from them and they were friends. You got to watch the movie. It's a really, really interesting movie. And the universe did what it was supposed to do. It did. You stole from our ancestors and the universe chopped him down. They wore him, they blew Elvis up like a balloon. Because when Elvis, first started, he was like slim and trim and he was all honey. The universe was like, blew him up like a big old balloon. And then after that, it was lights out. I looked at that, I was like, God, dog, you was really out here still. But I had heard that a lot of the stuff that Elvis did was from other black audiences or artists. But I never thought that they would show that on the big screen. I thought that would be something that they would hide. Now, of course, they hid. They didn't touch on his proclivity for young girls. They didn't touch on none of that. They had him married to his wife, whatever home, I can't think of her name. They had him married to her and was like he was married to her the whole time and they didn't have no problems. Other than his drugs. That was their problem. If he truly loved black people, he would have given back to the community and not stole from them. But would he have been as big if he didn't steal? He would not have been. I do not believe he would have been as big if he didn't. That's what made him stand out, those moves. And, I'm not taking away from the fact that he had a nice voice. And he knew that. He knew he had a nice voice, and people that heard him sing knew that he had a nice voice. He had a nice voice. I'm not taking that from him. But I'm saying that, you know how Beyonce has Sasha Fierce? I think Elvis had somebody black. And what's interesting in that is I think everybody that has to perform has an alter ego. Because when I preached, I had one. Mine was a man. Mine was an older, fat, black man. So I believe that Elvis's alter ego was someone young and black and extremely talented. You know, we cannot take the fact that Elvis, I'm not taking away the fact that because he had to have some type of talent to be able to mimic other people's talent. He had to have some of his own, and he did. He could sing, but his style, those songs and stuff, he stole from other people. Songs that should have been famous by other artists, he made famous because they couldn't get on the radio because they were black, but he was white and he could. And see, the producers and agents and stuff, they weren't running to these black people to get them famous, to get them on the radio, because, you know, they wasn't playing black people on the radio like that back then. But Elvis could get on the radio, and he did. So yeah, his story is interesting, but it's painful. And I do know that Elvis did help some people. I'm not saying that he's a horrible person, but you still a thief. You are a thief. He took advantage of his white privilege. And he knew he had white privilege. And he used it to his advantage, which really sucked. That all of these extremely talented black people, were not getting the accolades that they deserved because this white man was getting them. And it just sucks. When I saw that, like, it made me so mad. It just angered me. But I wanted to finish it because it's an interesting movie. It just goes to show, like, what was going on during that time. My mama said, I heard David Bowie was into young girls too. He looked like it. So, they didn't go into that part. But I've heard other people who have talked about, his life and stuff. And they've said that he liked young girls. But he took care of his family. He took care of his mom, his dad, his daughter. I believe he loved his family. He did, a lot of stuff because a lot of that too was done because, they were poor, they had issues. And, once you get a taste of, oh, okay, this can make me some money if I do this, then you just keep doing it. And that's what he did. So the last thing I want to talk about is the movie Creed. If you have not seen that, I wish that you would go to the movies and see it. This was Michael B. Jordan's uh director? Yeah, directorial debut. First movie that he has directed. The first movie under his belt as the director. So this movie had basically all people of color, either black or Hispanic, in the movie. I mean, people of color showed out in this movie. We was in there. All different shades of brown and black. Okay? We was looking good too. Very well done. Very well. Michael B. Jordan. What's the other guys? I can't think of. I can't never think of this guy's name. What is his name? Okay, Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors. And Felicia Rashad, Wood Harris, and a little girl. This was her first acting job, and she is deaf. And her name is Mila Davis Kent. And then there was a Jose Benavides and Salinas Nayava. So this is, to me, to wrap it up real cute. This is the Black Rocky. Creed is the Black Rocky. Creed, the movie, the Creed franchise is up under the Rocky umbrella. These movies, the first two, I think, were written by, or partially written by, or Sylvester Stallone had something to do with it. The first two, I think, or the first one for sure, because the first one, Creed, is Apollo, the black fighter Apollo. Creed is his, Apollo Creed. Adonis Creed, who is Michael B. Jordan, is Apollo's son, but is his son out of wedlock. Like, he cheated on his wife and had this baby. The chick that he had the baby by, I guess, didn't have her life together. And Adonis, who was Michael B. Jordan, ended up going to like a group home, foster home, blah, 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 blah. That was the first movie. This was how they set it up. We on Creed 3 now. Michael B. Jordan is married. He has his own child and everything. If you have not watched Creed 1 or 2, Creed 2 I didn't like as much as Creed 1. The first one I really, really enjoyed. But if you watch all three of them, you can see the progression of Michael B. Jordan, how he's grown in the industry, how he's grown as a person to, start off just acting in the first Creed, and now we in number 3 and he is the director. This and the third one is produced by the guy that produced Black Panther. I can't think of his name. Him and his brother both worked on this movie. Good storyline. Very good storyline. I'm not going to give the whole storyline away. But when I see movies that, deal with kids who are in foster care or who were in foster care, who went through group home type situations, there's, I always have this connection because I used to be a group home counselor. I used to work at a group home, not only for kids. I used to work at one. We called it a group home. It was more of a transitional house, but to me, it was a group home for adults. So I have worked with kids in a group home setting and adults also. And so, it delves into men who have been in very hurtful situations. Of course, you grow up, you get out of that situation, your life gets so much better. But those, if you have not dealt with your past will deal with you one way or the other. And so it's, Michael B. Jordan trying to navigate the world of, being a husband and being a father with so much childhood trauma that basically is unresolved. And ladies, press your man before you marry him and find out what type of childhood he lived. Because dealing with a man with unresolved childhood trauma is the worst thing in the world. It's so hard. I used to date this guy, and growing up, he was the he was dark skinned, and he told me growing up he felt like he was always the darkest child in his classroom. And the kids would pick on him and call him tar baby, and all of the derogatory terms for dark skinned people. We grown, we in our 30s, but he still was suffering his unresolved childhood trauma. We would go places and he would ask me, like, am I the darkest person in here? Why? you know he had so much unresolved childhood trauma. Things that, as an adult, as a 30 something year old man, he should not have been worried about. He was still worried about it. And if we don't find out what our partner's unresolved childhood trauma is and figure out, have you had therapy? Have you, do you got childhood trauma? Because some people have a whole lot of unresolved trauma and, don't even know it. That's where a lot of that anger, with men, them not being able to control their emotions and, not being able to control their egos and their anger is unresolved trauma. It's definitely trauma. So a lot of that needs to be talked about before you get in relationships. I saw this one young lady's video on TikTok, and she had just been talking to a dude for 2 days. 2 days. And she was already like, oh my God, he is the best thing since sliced bread. He returned my call every time. We talked on the phone for hours. She only been talking to him for 2 days. That's the kind of stuff that I'm like, girl, you don't know him? He returned your call twice. 2 days. And some people in the comments was like, yeah, girl, you got a good one. 2 days. You don't know him? He could be anybody. You've been talking to him for 2 days. We want to be in love so bad. We want to be nurtured so bad that we rush things. The red flags are there. We ignore them. We drive over them red flags quickly because we don't want to see them. Because a lot of men will not process their feelings, their emotions. They just, stuff and stuff and stuff. And eventually It's gonna come out. It's got to come out eventually. You can't keep stuffing those emotions down, just stuffing them down, stuffing them down, stuffing them down, and they don't eventually blow up. And some of that is on us ladies because we want to be in a relationship so bad that we have a tendency to overlook the bad stuff. Oh, that's okay, girl. And then you have friends that are so used to doing the same thing that they're not going to they don't want to tell. People don't call me. My friends don't call me until after they done went through something because they know I'm going to tell them the truth. And then they'll call me later and be like, I didn't tell you this because I knew you was going to tell me. Woo, woo, woo. You're right. Because I'm not going to lie to you. If you tell me that the dude is doing something, block, block him. Block his number. Block everything about him. Pretend like you don't know him. You don't have any kids by him. You don't have anything to tie you to him. But we already had. Okay, we'll take a white bath. Take a white bath. Wash all that away. Pray over your body and move on. I'm not the one that's gonna tell you to stay with some raggedy dude that's not calling you back. That, oh girl, so Melissa called me and told me that they seen Jonathan at TGI Fridays with another woman. Then that's it. Then Jonathan is with another woman. Move on. Then next weekend you be at TGI Fridays with Craig. You gonna sit here and cry because Jonathan was at TGI Fridays with another woman? For one thing, he only taking her to TGI Fridays? Girl, I wouldn't. You think I'm gonna cry over a dude that is at TGI Fridays? No, sweetheart. She can have him. She can have him. Oh, if you don't want me to be honest, don't call me. Everybody know that. Don't call her. And people be like, why you always gotta sound like somebody's mama? Because I am somebody's mama. I'm somebody's mama. I'm not gonna sound like your best friend. Because your best friend is gonna tell you something that ain't no good for you. She gonna tell you, yeah, girl, call him. Call him back, girl. Call him and ask him, was that him? And you know it was him. You know it was him. But you call him, girl. Call him and ask him what he doing. Drive over to his house. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you to block him. When he calls you, don't answer. Because you have moved on. Just like he has moved on, you have moved on. Don't call me if you don't want the truth. And a lot of my friends don't call me until they done sorted the situation out. And I don't care. I don't care. I want to be that friend that you know is going to tell you the truth. Or they'll call me and be like, I need you. I need you to pull a card for me. And I tell them up front. Now, if I ask these spirits a question and they give me the answer, and the answer ain't what you want to hear, are you going to be able to deal with it? And they're like, yeah. And I give it to them. I'm going to give it to you straight. Now, I might give you a chaser after. I'm going to give it to you. and then I'm gonna give you something sweet to take, because I know it's good. The truth can be a little bitter. I'm gonna give you something a little sweet to take after, but I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna do you like my mama used to do me. She'd give me some. She would get the medicine together, and she'd always have a little shot glass with a little juice or a Kool-Aid or something. Take this medicine. Here, drink this juice. Right after. That's me. I'm gonna give it to you. Now, you ready? Can you gonna be able to take it? Okay, here it is. Yeah, I don't enjoy the drama. I don't even want to hear the drama. Don't come to me with the drama. Come to me when you're ready to find a solution to your problem. Don't come to me whining. Come to me when you're ready to find a solution to your problem. I am a very solution orientated person. I don't do drama. I didn't got too old. I did drama in my 20s and early 30s. That shit was funny to me back then. I'm too old for that now. I'm too old for these long, drawn out stories. Yeah, then we went to we went to Pookie and Ray Ray house, and then Ray Ray, Deshaun, and then Ray Ray's girlfriend Quanisha. Cause see, I didn't beat and forgot the players and everything. I need it to just be you and Pookie. Just the two of y'all. Don't add a whole bunch of other characters and players and places. Y'all went here, and then y'all was at smoking hookahs, and then y'all went to Quanisha's house and was drinking Hennessy. That's too much. Just tell me what happened. Okay? Just let me know what happened, and we can go from there. Gizmo, you okay, buddy? All right. Because you over there. You over there knocked out. Just tell me the story. I don't need to hear the drama. Child, my son, I know he ain't gonna care. My son just got out of jail yesterday. And I have not even talked to him. Because my son is one of those people, I swear to God, you got to put like, I may be able to call him now because I got on my legs. I'm gonna have to take this wig off. I'm gonna have to cover my head. I'm gonna have to get in Florida water and everything because he's a dumper, and you have to really prepare yourself. When I talk to him, I have to, because I'm his mother, and I feel, I have a certain level of compassion for him, even though I know that the majority of stuff that he gets into is his fault. I still, have a certain level of compassion for him, and I just don't be wanting, because he does that. He will go all over the whole Bay Area to tell a story about how did you get locked up? Yeah, see, I was in San Bruno. Mind you, he live in Oakland. I was in San Bruno and I was driving. He got to tell you what he was driving. He got to tell you what he had on from head to toe. Shoes, pants, shirt. I mean, he's a very descriptive person. He got to tell you what cologne he had on. Just everything to just tell you a story. Yeah, and I was with my partner Mike, and Mike be wearing the retro Jordans, and he had the Jordans on, and I don't care what y'all had on. What happened? Yeah, And then, the cop, one of them was black. And, I thought we had a connection. But then the other cops rolled up. My son, he does the sound effects. I mean, he's so animated. When you get finished talking to him, you're tired. Because it's like you were there. Like you were a participant in this whole thing. Like you were in the back seat while all of this was going on. Like, I'm tired because this boy done drug me all over the Bay Area in a car that I didn't want to go in. No, he is a Scorpio. No, he's not. I don't think he is a Scorpio. Wait a minute. You see? He a Libra. He is a Libra. That boy's so animated. And he stay in trouble. Poor thing. He always in trouble. But he is one of Obatala's children. He actually a priest told me. So I know for sure that he is a child of Obatala. And Obatala's children are they special. They are special children. They are taken care of. So I worry about him, but I know that Obatala has him and he's going to, you know, take care of him. Child, that boy has kept me. I mean, both of my kids have kept me busy, but my oldest, he be going through it. He definitely be going through it. He done gave me more grandkids. He just Lizzo pulled her pants down in Paris. Okay, Lizzo. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that. Yeah, I do too. I mean, that's my only thing. I just hope he stays safe. I don't really care about him getting locked up. That's not a problem for me. Like him going to jail, when he's in jail, I don't even have to worry about him because he locked up. I don't have a problem with that. You know, I'd be more worried when he's just out here on the street. Him, getting into stuff. So, yeah, that's about it, y'all. I only used y'all to stay sitting up for an hour after I ate. I just ate some McDonald's and I said, you know what? I'll go live. That'll at least keep me upright for an hour because I'm not supposed to lay down for like 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes after um after I've eaten something. So I've been on here for an hour, so that did good. At least my food then like digested a little bit. I didn't eat all of it anyway. I only ate like a little bit of it. So I'm good. I don't know why I keep drinking these because every time I drink one, my stomach be like bubbling. In a couple of hours, my stomach could probably. I'm gonna take something. I'm gonna take like uh an acid or something to because this has to have milk in it. I need to look up the ingredients because I don't think they have the ingredients on here. This has to have milk in it, and me and milk don't really get along like that. So I'm gonna check and see. So I don't know, y'all. If anything interesting happens, I'll be back tomorrow. If not, I probably won't. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do a live every day. But please, if you have not seen Creed 3, go see it. You know, when we go to the movies and watch these black films, it helps the producers and directors and stuff. You know, it shows the world that black people do support each other. I wish people had the same gumption for Creed as we did for Black Panther. I mean, because we didn't put no money going to see Black Panther, didn't put no money in the African American community. That money went to Marvel. You know what I mean? So I wish that we would support all black movies like we do like we did Black Panther. You know, Creed should have been the same way. We should have showed up to Creed just like we showed up to that Marvel movie. So go check that out if you haven't checked it out. And if you want to check out that Elvis Presley movie, that's a really an interesting watch. It really is. It's an interesting movie. Check that out. And I guess that's it. Me and this hair fell out Saturday. My real hair. I don't know what I don't. After I did that video about, oh yeah, you know, my natural hair and I'm getting used to, my hair said, we gonna show her. The next day I tried to do a braid out and I don't know what happened. My hair went left. My Do I have a picture? Let me see there. Do I have a picture? My hair, I don't know what happened. All my curls fell out. I don't know what I don't know where I went wrong. All my curls fell. I ain't had not nair curl. Nair. I was so unhappy. And you know, for a split second, I was like, I will cut all this off my head. My husband was like, calm down. Don't do that. I was just like, I'm not going to be able to. I don't want to deal with, I don't want my hair to stress me out. I just don't. But I don't want my hair to be so short that I can't put a ponytail. Because you know, I love wearing them little fake ponytails. I don't want it to be so short that I can't wear a ponytail. Oh, one more thing. Child, I tried the Coke. What is this? Move. You see how far I got? This is I've had this for 3 days. 3 days. I've been sipping on that. Not only have I been drinking out of it, my husband been drinking out of it too. And we cannot finish it. It tastes exactly like the Pepsi Peeps. I don't know what these companies are doing. It is also a limited edition drink. And the notes are supposed to be strawberry and coconut or something. It don't say on here. It just says transformation flavored. But when I looked on the Coke website, it said that it was supposed to have notes of strawberry and coconut. And some people taste wine. I guess it was dependent on your taste buds or something. Everybody kind of tasted something different. To me, it tastes like Pepsi Peeps. That's what it tastes like to me. So it is a new collaboration. I don't know who Rosalinda is. Um, Experience the sonic transformation of this film starring Rosalia in her newest track, Lie Like You Love Me. I have no idea who that is. But whoever that is, that's who this drink is made for. It's not nasty, but if you don't like the Pepsi Peeps, you're not going to like it. It has a weird marshmallow aftertaste. That's what I was tasting. It has a weird marshmallow taste. I didn't get strawberry. I didn't get coconut. I was getting marshmallow because I was like, did somebody pour the Coke out? Because it don't even really taste like Coke to me. It tastes like Pepsi. I was like, did somebody pour the did we finish the other? I kept going, is this the other one? Yeah, it don't it's flat now because nobody even put it in the back in the refrigerator last night. It's been sitting here. But it doesn't even really have the classic Coke taste. What are they doing? Like, don't mess up the original. Coke has a classic flavor to me. And maybe that flavor was just probably too heavy to sit on top of something else. So they had to kind of like dull down the Coke flavor to get you to taste the other flavor. Leave these classic drinks alone. That's what I want you to do. Stop making these limited edition drinks. Leave the classics alone. Vanilla is a vanilla and what's the other one? Cherry Coke. Those are okay. That's it. We don't need nothing else. But these mystery flavors, that's at least vanilla Coke they telling you is just vanilla Coke. Cherry Coke is just cherry and Coke. But this, they're not even telling you what it is. They're not even telling you on the bottle what it is. It just says move, limited edition, transformation flavored. They don't even tell you that what notes or what it is. I should have knew then it was some bullshit. I should have knew then. Cause I kept before I bought it, I saw somebody else do a review on TikTok. Cause I'm gonna do my review on TikTok too. I saw somebody doing a review. I don't care that it's only a little bit left in the bottle. I'm gonna pretend like I saw somebody do a review on TikTok, right? And I was like, Coke move. I guess after I did a review of the Pepsi Peeps, Then my For You page, I got some other people doing, hey baby, how you doing? I saw some other people doing reviews, so I'm gonna do mine. Mark Mama, you on TikTok? I need to follow. I need more people to follow me on TikTok. I'm not doing anything specific yet. I haven't like really figured out what I want to do on TikTok. So right now, I just be posting like Gizmo and my little reviews and stuff. But I don't want it to be. I want to figure out a way to do my card readings and stuff on TikTok. I need to watch some other TikTok tarot readers so I can see how they're doing it. Because I see a few people on TikTok. I see every now and then I see somebody on TikTok with their leckades. It's very rare that I have my leckades out like I do. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get more active. Um, I'm trying to get more active on TikTok since YouTube still got me in jail. Now they need to YouTube need to leave me alone. They need to just leave me be. What I did was not that bad. They still got me in jail. I ain't gonna worry about it though. I can't worry about it. I ain't even asked the Orishas to intervene for me because I'm like I got bigger fish to fry than what's going on with YouTube. So that's it, y'all. I'm gonna get off here and probably take Gizmo outside while it's not raining because it has been raining off and on here all day long. So I like to take him out while it's not raining because if he goes to the door and I open the door and it's windy or it's raining, he'd be like, I'm not going out there. I'm like, don't you have to pee? Yeah, but I ain't peeing out there. I ain't going out there. I'm not going to go out there. My husband will pick him up, but he will go out there with him. And then Gizmo is like, okay, well, we both getting wet. It's good. But see, I won't do that. I just open the door and be like, gone. And he look at me like, I'm not going out there. I'll be like, I don't blame you because I'm not going out there. But my husband pick him up and take him. And he run on over to his spot and use the bathroom and come on back. I'm not going out there, period. I just opened the door. So I like to take him out while it's we're not getting on, and I don't think it's raining right now. If it is, it's just drizzling because I don't see anything on the window. So if anything interesting, oh, I do want to work on this story. There are a lot of African people, and I know that this has probably been going on for a long time, but I want to do a little bit more research on this. But there is I don't want to say mass exodus because it ain't like hella people, but people are leaving like parts of Africa, moving to Canada, thinking that, their life is going to change. They're saying that the American dream for Africans has changed. America is no longer the dream for them. Coming to America used to be the dream for everybody. So now they say that the dream is to move to Canada. So I saw a couple of stories about it on TikTok, and I want to do a little bit more research, and I want us to talk about that because I saw a young lady's story, and she was, talking about what it was like leaving Nigeria to come to the U.S. only to not be able to find work. And I guess the visa process for the US is, very strict, as it should be. We're going to talk about all that because, I feel like our borders should be as secure as other countries. We can't just walk into other countries and establish our life as Americans. So I don't feel like anybody else should be able to do it here. So we're going to talk about all that. That's a really interesting story for me. So either we'll talk about that probably Wednesday because I still want to do a little bit more research. So thank you guys for being here. Check out Creed 3 if you have not done that. Support Michael B. Jordan and the rest of these people of color in this movie. And go watch Elvis. And I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.